Yo, what's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? As you know, the typical stream tradition. First few moments, I just fumble around like a goober, making sure that the live stream's actually up and running, and that I'm not just yapping to myself here. Hunter Grandmaster, welcome to the stream, bro. What's up? What is good? How you guys doing? You're at a sleepover? Nice, bro. Nice. I appreciate you still tuning in even at the sleepover. That's sick. Mag333, welcome to the stream. Yeah, just started right this very moment. Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome to the stream, everybody. So, yeah, bro, I just finished watching Dragonball Daima episode 20, and I wanted to just give my honest thoughts on Dragonball Daima, like the series as a whole, but more like my focus on the last episode and the ending itself. Hi on Ransom, welcome to the stream, bro. What's up? What's up? Euroball, what's up? Welcome to the stream, bro. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Mono Me, welcome. What's up? Hi, Lilo and Stitch. Hello, hello. But yeah, we're just getting started right now. So, what I was saying is I just finished the last episode of Dragon Ball Daima. What's up, Justice? And I wanted to give my thoughts on the final episode, and yeah, and just be like genuinely honest about my thoughts on the series as a whole and what the future of the series could potentially have. Evil Grew, Bruh E, what's up? Bruh E said I dropped after episode 2. Mag33 said you make really good anime power scaling content without a lot of bias, which I appreciate, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, man. Evil Grew, yo, what's good? What's up, bro? What's up, everybody? What's up? Ahmed, what's up? What's up? So yeah, so I wanted to just get into it, just start talking about my thoughts on the series as a whole. So spoiler warning to anyone who's not caught up with Dragon Ball Daima, I will pretty much spoil every major moment from Dragon Ball Daima during this live stream, because I'm going to just be like free flow speaking about different topics that I enjoyed throughout the series, things I didn't enjoy, but more just focusing mostly on the ending of the series. So I'll give you guys just a brief warning. I'm about to get into spoilers within like the next 5 seconds here. So like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And this one, it's not as in detail as my other live streams. It's just a very brief slide. I got like 2 or 3 slides and more just want to talk about like my main ideas. Okay, so the final episode of Dragon Ball Daima, like a brief summary of like the main things that happened in the last episode and the last few episodes, really. We get to see Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta in his adult form. We get to see Goku go Super Saiyan 4 on his own, even without like the help of magic powers. He just straight up goes Super Saiyan 4. And then in the final episode, a lot of us were hoping we would get some kind of explanation as to why did Goku not use Super Saiyan 4 against Beerus. As you can see on screen here, I have the panels like where Goku was fighting Beerus. He was first fighting Beerus in Super Saiyan 2, and Beerus was like, bro, you're still holding back. Show me everything you've got. Then Goku goes into Super Saiyan 3. And then after losing, he says, man, the only way to get stronger is through fusion with Vegeta. Like, basically straight up saying this is the last method he has for becoming more powerful, meaning he did not have Super Saiyan 4. And in the manga, they straight up say it. This is the Dragon Ball Super manga itself, where Goku straight up says Super Saiyan 3 is his final form. There's no more transformations after this. Now, this creates some plot holes because we see him in Daima going Super Saiyan 4, and Daima is supposed to take place a couple years before Super. So yeah, a lot of the fandom was hoping they would give some kind of explanation as to why he magically did not have these forms against Beerus, because we were told going into Daima that Daima is canon. Daima is a continuation after Z right before Super. This is like what everybody was told and everybody expected. But in the end, we get actually no answer at all. The episode ends with Goku and Vegeta talking about Super Saiyan 4, and they straight up call it Super Saiyan 4. And this is the scene where I was thinking, oh yeah, they'll explain it right here. They'll give some explanation as to why Goku didn't use it. But it actually just gets more confusing. Goku straight up says that he was training after Majin Buu, and he had the concept of Super Saiyan 4 in his mind. It's implied that he had some form of the concept before Daima even started, but he didn't think he could actually do it. But during Daima, he pulls off Super Saiyan 4. So, yeah, the problem with it is that creates a big plot hole. Because years later, Goku's saying he doesn't have Super Saiyan 4 anymore, and we don't have a reason why. And then also this scene where Vegeta's fighting Beerus. This is after he gets enraged because Beerus like slaps Bulma around, and Vegeta's trying to push himself beyond his limits, and he's still just in Super Saiyan 2. This would be like the perfect opportunity to go Super Saiyan 3, and we don't get an explanation to that either. Now, here's the thing, man. Like, I know this is, and before I say this stuff, this is no disrespect towards Toriyama. Toriyama's a legendary mangaka. Rest in peace to Toriyama. If it wasn't for Toriyama, none of the series that I like would even exist today. Like, Hunter x Hunter, that's like the main series I talk about on my channel. Gon and Killua, they're heavily influenced by Goten and Trunks. So, like, if Toriyama didn't create Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter would be completely different. One Piece is also, that's my actual favorite manga. One Piece, its two like biggest inspirations are Dragon Ball and Disney. It's pretty much a fusion of Dragon Ball and Disney. Without Dragon Ball, One Piece wouldn't exist, wouldn't be anything like what it is today. Pretty much any shonen series where they have power-ups or characters flying, aura of any kind, all of this like it took humongous inspiration from Dragon Ball. So no disrespect towards Toriyama. In my opinion, he's actually the most legendary shonen mangaka of all time. The most influential shonen mangaka. All that being said, this was not very well written, guys. I'll just be honest. We're in a situation where the final episode was so poorly written that now people are questioning if this entire series was canon or not. And I don't remember a time when this has ever happened in any other series, actually. I think this is the first time I've experienced this. Let me word it like this. A common argument that I'm seeing people say in regards to this final episode is people are saying, dude, you're caring too much about the canon. Stop worrying about the canon. I'm telling you guys, stop worrying about the canon. I've seen that comment on Reddit. I've seen that comment on different YouTube videos. And multiple times when I see that comment, it's getting like 50 to 100 likes, like tons of likes, tons of upvotes. But here's my counter to that. If people that are saying stop caring about the canon, my question is why? Why would I stop caring about the canon? Because for most of the people who watched Daima being canon was the reason they watched it. That was the main thing that made them want to see it in the first place, because a lot of people were not thrilled about the idea of Goku being a kid again. But the main selling point was people saying, hey, it's canon, so watch it. You're going to learn more about the series. More canon things about the series that you won't get otherwise. And now, after like putting up with that for 20 episodes, you're now telling me the main reason why we were watching this thing, that's the main reason that's the main thing I need to ignore now. That doesn't make much sense. Also, pretty much, like off the top of my head, no other big shonen would you ever say that. Like you're not going to say that about Hunter x Hunter. You're not going to say, oh, don't worry about the canon in Hunter x Hunter. Don't worry about it. No one's saying that. For that, you're not saying it for Naruto. You're not saying it for One Piece. You're not saying it for Bleach. It's like, it's very clear cut you're not saying that for JJK. It's very clear cut what's canon and what's not for those series. And people don't tell you to just ignore things and tell you that don't worry about what's canon or what's not. That is very unique to just this series. And my question is like, why is that being said? I think it's to just cover up the fact that there's legitimate writing problems here. Here's something that I've noticed. It's like explanations that could, well, how could I word this? I'll put it like this. They could have made this connect to Super very easily. Like with just 1 or 2 sentences of dialogue, you can pretty much fix every single plot hole from Super, and the enjoyment for the entire series increases massively. Like, for example, the problem of Super Saiyan 4, you could just easily say, oh, Goku can only go Super Saiyan 4 in the Demon Realm. And then with Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, you could say, like, oh, the reason why Vegeta didn't go Super Saiyan 3 against Beerus is because Super Saiyan 3 is a very draining transformation, like Goku said. And similar to how Vegeta doesn't use Super Vegeta anymore because it's more draining than normal Super Saiyan, like Vegeta's like jacked Super Saiyan form, he doesn't use that because it's more draining than normal Super Saiyan, so he chose to master normal Super Saiyan instead. You could easily say, oh, Vegeta, wanting to be different than Goku, he wanted to master Super Saiyan 2 instead, while Goku chose to master Super Saiyan 3. And Vegeta's goal was to surpass Goku with like his own methods. And then like those are very simple explanations. Like me just saying that took about not even 2 minutes. And both of those things are things that I read from YouTube comments. The problem with that is like people who thought of these ideas, these very simple solutions, like untrained writers have thought of these things. People who have zero training in writing, like just working normal jobs, like people like working at grocery stores thought of stuff like this and left them as comments. And these trained professional writers couldn't. It's weird. I don't fully understand. Like people with no writing training of any kind just instinctively think of stuff like this and gets tons and tons of likes. But an entire writing staff couldn't think of an explanation that simple. I'm not fully understanding why that happened. And I don't know. I really don't have an answer to that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is like, there's just currently a large number of unnecessary unknowns. Like a list of unknowns that really had no reason to be unknown. They could have answered these things for us and explained these things for us. So like, for example, is this connected to Super? Yes or no? We don't actually know. Is this a brand new timeline, like its own standalone timeline? That's not connected to anything, like it's a branching off brand new timeline and they'll add more stuff to it in the future, like we'll get a Daima 2 in the future and it'll continue from there and it's going to be completely separate from Super. Is that what's happening? We don't know. Or is this filler just like GT, something like not meant to be taken seriously at all? It's just a fun adventure. We also don't know that either. And if it is connected to Super, will they ever explain the plot holes, or will they just like leave them? We don't know that either. And another thing is like, will Super just randomly use Super Saiyan 4 in the future? Because like I could totally see that happening, like them making like Goku or Vegeta, they're fighting like some new enemy and they're like, all right, you remember that form from back in the Demon Realm? I think it's time we finally bust that back out. And they just use Super Saiyan 4 again. Like, I could see that happening too. But we don't know if that's going to happen or not. So like, my question is like, why do we have all these unknowns? Like, none of them needed to be unknown. You could have explained these things for us. Like, in the final episode, episode 20, why did we waste 3 full minutes of screen time with just, like, I think it was Majin Ku. He was just, like, explaining the roles that all of these side characters are going to get in the new version of the Demon Realm, like the new leadership of the Demon Realm. They spent like 3 minutes explaining all that stuff. Why did we do that when we could have used that time to explain like why Super Saiyan 4 is not in Super, why Super Saiyan 3 is not in Super, or use that time to like just concrete explain to us like, hey, this is not canon anymore. Like, find some creative way to do that. I don't know. It's just this final episode. It kind of changed the way that I see the entire series, because up until now, I was viewing it as like a new version of Dragon Ball that feels like OG Dragon Ball and has fun lore that at first doesn't really seem like it will matter, but it's all going to come together in the end, and it's all going to make sense in the end. But in the end, it didn't really make sense. So another thing I've been thinking is like, in complete honesty, would I recommend Daima to somebody else? Like, if someone asked me like, hey man, I've been looking at Daima, it looks pretty good, should I watch it? I don't know if I would recommend it. Like, if someone asked me like, hey, should I watch Daima? I would probably say watch episode 1, 2, and 3, just to understand like what the plot is about. Then I would tell them to watch all of the fight episodes. Like, I'd say watch Goku versus the that like metal dude. I forget what they're called. It's the Torigamis, I think. Watch Goku fight them, and then watch Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3. Then just watch the last 3 episodes and you're good. You can skip everything else. You can skip like 10 episodes out of the 20 episode series and like get everything out of it that you really need. Because like all of the little lore bits that were sprinkled in here, if this doesn't connect to Super and it's just its own standalone thing, then most of the lore doesn't really matter much. So yeah, that's kind of my stance on it. I guess it depends on like what they will do in the future, because like if they come out and the writers of... So I know this was like Toriyama's vision, but I don't know exactly how much of this Toriyama himself wrote, because Dragon Ball Super worked in a similar fashion where it was like Toriyama oversaw it. He would give them ideas and they would like flesh the ideas out. I don't know if that's how Daima was as well, or if Toriyama straight up wrote out like everything. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's just like Super has been existing since 2016. Like, it came out in 2016 or 2015. So about 10 years Super has been out, and that has been the long-running continuation canon that people have like gotten used to and have been enjoying. They've put it into the video games. They created a full-fledged Dragon Ball Super manga, and Akira Toriyama's successor has been writing that manga. Like, so much work has gone into that. I genuinely don't understand why they didn't take like a fraction of that same effort to connect this series to that one, or to just straight up explain to us right away that this is its own thing. Like, these are very simple requests that there's really no reason that they didn't do it. I can't see a logical reason why they didn't connect the two. And I don't see a logical reason why, if this is just its own like GT, its own filler verse, why not just come out and say that right from the jump? But yeah, if they come out with a season 2 and explain these things, then my overall interpretation of Daima increases a lot. Because right now, I would say like my honest thoughts on Daima, like if someone asked me like how do I rank Daima, I would say that it's a very beautiful looking series. Like, the animation is very good. It's cool to see Goku just being Goku. But the overall writing is like a 4 out of 10. That would be my like honest review of it. The writing level is about a 4 out of 10. If this is, and that's based on the idea that this is all we get. We don't get any explanation as to how this connects to Super. We don't know if this is standalone. We don't know if this is filler. This is, if all the information we have right now is all that we ever get, I would say that Daima's about a 4 out of 10 in terms of writing. But you can still enjoy it, especially if you really like Dragon Ball and have nostalgia. Then you can just like watch it and just enjoy Dragon Ball. But like in terms of actual writing quality, it's about a 4 out of 10. If we get more information fixing all these plot holes and like we get a part 2 to Daima, then this could increase to like a 6 out of 10. And if we're told that this is actually just filler and it will just be standalone on its own, then I would also say it's about a 6. But yeah, those are my overall thoughts on it. And one more thing I wanted to say before I start scrolling through the comments is that Dragon Ball Daima, it increased my appreciation for Oda, the author of One Piece, because like another thing I've seen with Daima is like people have been saying like when you pull up this panel here where they have Goku saying that Super Saiyan 3 is his final transformation, this was written like 8 or 9 years ago. And I've seen people say, okay, dude, well, you got to cut them some slack. You know, they wrote that like 8 or 9 years ago. They didn't plan 8 or 9 years ahead and think that they were going to have Super Saiyan 4 8 or 9 years from now. So, you know, just got to cut it some slack. But if you're up to date with One Piece, there's literally like 10 different plot lines in One Piece right now, all running perfectly, that were foreshadowed like 15 or 20 years ago, and they're just still running smoothly. And like that's been something that consistently happens throughout One Piece, and it's been like that for a long time. Like a couple of examples of things that were like seeds planted like 10 or 15 years ago and just ended up being a big deal. That I'm about to do some spoilers for One Piece, so if you haven't seen like the latest chapters of One Piece, I'd recommend bounce real quick. But I'll give you guys like a few seconds. All right, about to say some spoilers. So like in One Piece, there's this character Jewelry Bonnie, and she was introduced back around like chapter 450, somewhere around there. It was in Sabaody, and during the Marineford War, there's a random panel in the Marineford War where like they bring out all of these pacifista soldiers onto the battlefield, and then they just randomly like have a panel showing Bonnie watching the war, just crying, like looking at the screen crying, and no one knows why she's crying. And at the time, like no one knew what that was about either. We just thought she was like an emotional character, or like maybe some of her friends had died in the battlefield or something. Then Oda reveals literally about 12 real life years later that Kuma is Bonnie's father. And the pacifista are all based on her father. So she's crying because she's seeing her dad be used as like a war slave. So like that's one example of something like planned out 12 years in advance. Water 7 has raising water levels that are like on the verge of wiping that city out. And that was something that was shown, I think, around chapter 300 or 400. And they were saying, like, the water levels this year are just abnormal. We've never seen anything like this. We don't really know what's going on. And it's like this place is on the verge of being buried by the ocean. And then, like, literally about 15 years later, Oda reveals that the entire One Piece world is sinking. Like the water level is rising so high that most of the islands are starting to disappear. So it wasn't just a Water 7 thing. It's the entire world is sinking in One Piece. And like you could even say it was foreshadowed even earlier than that, because the celestial dragons only live on the highest peak. And like, so it shows the celestial dragons always knew the world was sinking. Another one is back in Luffy versus Doflamingo. Luffy's using Gear 4, and Doflamingo's like, how is Rubber able to do this? Like, this does not seem like a Rubber man. Like, he's doing weird things. And then it's revealed, like, 500 chapters later, Luffy is... his devil fruit isn't really the rubber fruit. It's the, like, sun god fruit. Another one is Nami getting Big Mom's Vivre card and Thriller Bark. That happened around like chapter 400. Then like Then around the chapter 900, the Vivre card saves her life in Whole Cake Island because the homies don't attack her. There's so many more, bro. Like, Ace gave Ors Jr. a hat from Wano, and then we see Ace and Wano like 500 chapters later, like meeting Otama to learn how to make those hats, and like fighting Yamato and all that. And another real cool one is like all of the old gen characters in One Piece. If you go back and reread like even chapters like 200, when we get to meet Chopper for the first time, Dr. Kureha, like Chopper's adopted mom, basically. Whenever she talks about Gold Roger, she calls him Gold D Roger. And she's like the only person saying Gold D Roger, and we think it's like a typo, but she's legit calling him his real name. It doesn't get revealed until like 400 chapters later that Gold Roger was a D initial. So like, the reason I'm bringing all that stuff up is because it's like these things that Dragon Ball Daima is struggling with, like balancing a story 8-9 years. Like planning things out 8 and 9 years, Oda has been doing that consistently, like over and over and over again, and is still doing that now. Especially when you look at the mural. The mural has stuff on it that's been planned out since like Skypiea. So it's like this made me really appreciate One Piece more, and I don't think it's a debate anymore that One Piece is a better written story than Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is like more nostalgic, much more influential, much more impactful, and a beautiful story and all that, but I don't know if it was a debate people were really genuinely having, but to me, it's not really debatable anymore. Like, One Piece is a far better written series. But yeah, so those were all the things I wanted to talk about. Let me peep these comments. Sorry, that was a bit of a yap sesh. I really just wanted to, like, verbally say my opinions on it. And actually, you know what? I was also... So what I've been doing, I've been watching the Key Moments podcast. Have you guys seen this? It's by Dado Doya and Nanogenics. They're two like Dragon Ball YouTubers, and they made a podcast where every episode of Dragon Ball Daima, they've been like reviewing it and talking about each episode. So I've been watching every podcast. And like reading some of these comments was what made me want to just go ahead and do this. I was thinking about like going over these comments with you guys, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I would get in trouble if I did that or not, since it's like their stuff. I also did this poll here, but I didn't really get that many comments on it. It's pretty low traction for right now. So I guess it's all good. Let me just go ahead and peep your guys' comments in this live stream. Let's take a peep here. So, and what did you guys think about that stuff I was saying? Do you guys agree with me, disagree with me? You think I'm being too harsh on the series? And like, let me know your guys' honest thoughts on Dragon Ball Daima. What would you rank it personally? On a score out of 1 to 10, what would you guys rank it? Okay, so let me read your guys' comments. So, Hunter Grandmaster said, my friend that I'm at a sleepover with actually loves Daima and Dragon Ball. That's dope. I mean, yeah, it's an enjoyable series for sure. Ahmed said, spoilers, the best moment is Bulma threatening Vegeta that she won't take a bath with him if he didn't let someone else fight. Yeah, like Daima had a lot of like funny moments in it. Bruh E said, so same Goku from DBS can use SSJ4, that's wild. Yeah, I mean, if Daima is connected to Super, then yes, he would be able to, but we actually don't know if it's connected or not. Let's see here. Mr. Den said, watch them probably do something like Piccolo where he forgets he could transform into Super Saiyan 4. That might end up happening where he just says like, oh yeah, I forgot I could do that. And you know, it's like any kind of like the thing is really that I wasn't a fan of is that we actually got zero explanation. I would have been okay with even a bad explanation, but we just got no explanation. So Ahmed, simply never doing his magic thing again would have fixed everything. Like, I can justify Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 to some extent. I agree with that too. Like, with Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, you could just view it as he didn't want to use Super Saiyan 3 because it drains his stamina. But Goku going Super Saiyan 4, I mean, not going Super Saiyan 4 against Beerus makes less sense. Because, like, Beerus is straight up saying, you still have some hidden powers, like, show me everything you've got. And Goku says, like, this is his most powerful form, the Super Saiyan 3. Like, he's saying things where it shows that no thought about Super Saiyan 3 was put into this. I mean, no thought about Super Saiyan 4 was put into this until now. Euroball said, do you support the Katakuri slander? Katakuri did get power cliffed. I mean, the best way you can scale it is, like, Katakuri wailed on Luffy for 11 hours straight and still could not knock him out. Then Kaido with one Thunder Bagua did more damage to Luffy than Katakuri did in 11 hours. And then, like, a lot of other characters are taking Thunder Baguas and surviving. It's like Katakuri, like, really can't hang with a lot of the rooftop level fighters. But One Piece characters just, like, continually get stronger, kind of like RPG characters. So, like, if Katakuri shows back up in the story again, most likely he would be stronger than he was when Luffy fought him. Especially when you consider, like, hockey blooms and stuff. But, yeah. In all complete honesty, the weakest aspect of One Piece is its power scaling. Like, One Piece is a great story, but it's much more a storytelling shonen than it is a battle shonen. Like, it has battles in it, yes. But when I would say, like, the flaws in One Piece are in its power scaling. It makes sense, but it's like not as solid as power scaling in, like, Hunter x Hunter, for example. I would say the power scaling in One Piece is, like, just good enough for the story to keep going, but it's not, like, stupendous. Because there's some things where it just doesn't feel like it's well thought out. Like, for example, Luffy's haki, it's hard to tell if he's using armament or if he's using advanced conquerors in, like, most of his fights. And, like, then you ask, like, a good example would be, like, against the Seraphim. They were fighting those Seraphim clones. Why didn't Luffy just use Rio? We don't know if he did or not, you know? Like, certain things like that. Euroball said, every modern shonen is inspired by DBZ, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, Bleach, Berserk, and Berserk. Yeah, dude, very inspirational series. XYAEX said two things. Either this is yet another new timeline or it's a retcon. The timeline after Z can literally go anywhere. I agree. And it's just, I wish we had a clear-cut explanation as to what this was. Because going into it, they were really hyping this up as canon. They were hyping this up as this is right after Boo, but right before Super. That's, like, how this was advertised. So, like, everyone going into this thought that this was canon and thought that this is going to connect to Super at the end. That was, like, the majority opinion people had. And they even start Daima off with, like, showing characters that only existed in Daima. Like, I think they had Gawasu in the first couple episodes, and he's characters that only exist in Super. Gawasu, he was a straight-up Super character that was in, like, the first few episodes. Anime Monarch, yo, what's up, bro? Sorry, I'm just getting these comments a little bit late, and I don't exactly know what parts you missed. But basically, I was just giving my thoughts on, like, Dragon Ball Daima as a whole, what I thought about it. I like the series. It was a fun show. It's, like, a very fun, like, Dragon Ball type series. But my honest thoughts on it are, like, if someone asked me, hey, I'm thinking about watching Dragon Ball Daima, should I? Like, would I recommend it to them? Maybe not. Or if they said, like, I really want to watch it, I would tell them, hey, just watch episode 1, 2, and 3. Then I would show them the Goku versus, like, all of Goku's major fights, like, versus the I forget what they're called. Is it Torigami? Tamagami? I forget what they're called. Like, the big robot dude. I would say watch this fight. Then I would show him the Vegeta going Super Saiyan 3. Then skip all the way to the last 3 episodes because nothing else really matters. Let's see. Decade, what's up, bro? He said, yeah, him going Super Saiyan 3 and having no drain makes this so odd. I agree, bro. I agree. Yeah, he didn't even look like he was drained by it in Daima either, so it's pretty weird. Let's see. Ahmed, Geo said the brutal truth, question mark, exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point. Yeah, I mean, I it's a fun series, right? But like, my honest thoughts on it is I was waiting for this all to get dubbed because I wanted to go back and watch every episode in dub and just like enjoy it as a dub. But now I don't know if I'm not really in a rush to do that now. I'll probably still do it, but like, I don't know if it's because I'm just a super Dragon Ball fan or if it's because this is actually good. I can't really tell. It might be just pure nostalgia, like, driving me. Let's see here. So, yeah, Ahmed said, I definitely believe there's going to be a season 2 in the future to explain it. I really hope so. That would be great. And he also said, honestly, that would be hilarious. In a Demon Realm arc in the manga and Goku randomly uses Super Saiyan 4 in the future. Yeah, if Goku randomly uses Super Saiyan 4 and we get no explanation, then Daima is like the worst written thing in Dragon Ball, in my opinion. Bro, like if we get zero explanation and they're like, yeah, this is all canon, yeah, this connects to Super, and there's no explanation, then Daima will just become a little frustrating to rewatch. Like, I'll just probably only watch, like, I don't know. I might not rewatch episode 20. Like, I would just stop it right when, right after the Goku Kamehameha, and then just turn the episode off. Let's see. Euroball said, why 20 episodes and not 21 or 22? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. XYAEX, Super is 3 years after. We haven't even caught up to them yet. Plus, I'm big on fan manga. I'd be all for a Dragon Ball timelines, kind of like superhero, but just no. Yeah, I mean, you know, at this point, dude, like, it's just there was so many simple explanations. I don't know why they chose to use none of them. They could have done so many things to easily explain this stuff, but they just did nothing. That does make me think there will probably be a season 2, but we have no announcement of it, right? So, like, if they announce season 2, then it becomes, man, I hope they explain the plot holes in season 2. But then the real question is, like, why didn't you just explain them in season 1? You know, like, that's not a very good way to create suspense for a season 2. Like, you can have cliffhangers. You can have things people really want to see happen. That's different than plot holes, you know? Plot holes don't really make me excited for the next season. Plot holes make me think like, man, is the next season going to have plot holes too? Hunter Grandmaster said, Lilo, the only thing I would recommend to a Daima viewer is Bulma threatening Vegeta to not take baths with him is the best part of Daima. It is a funny scene. Anime Monarch said, it's not that there's no reason why they didn't do it. It's that there's no reason that we should have to ask for an explanation. Bro, exactly. Exactly. Because, like, yeah, as viewers, we really should not have to ask for them to explain, like, the most basic of things. Especially, like I was saying in the beginning, people with no writing experience of any kind are able to think of solutions to these plot holes almost instantaneously. Like literally, when I saw Super Saiyan 4, one of the first things I thought was, oh, is this just something he can do in the Demon Realm? You know, it's like that's like the first thing I think of, and I'm not like a writer. I'm not a pro writer or anything. I'm just a dude watching an anime, right? So like if that's like the first thing I think of, like why did this entire animation studio not think to put that in there? It's just such a simple, common sense idea. We really shouldn't have to ask for that. It should have just been thrown in there. Any kind of explanation. XYAEX said, honestly, I like Daima. Don't really understand why we always have to see a fusion. Until further notice, I'm just going to assume this is a new timeline. And that's a good way to interpret it too. I'm kind of doing that as well. Because like if this is all we get no more new information, then I'm viewing this as GT2. I'm viewing this as GT version number 2. Like it's filler for now, because like it's so disconnected from Super. And the writers themselves did not do the simple solutions that they easily could have done. Like I said, like they could have 1 minute of dialogue explaining, oh yeah, so Vegeta doesn't use Super Saiyan 3. He doesn't like using it because it's draining. Then people are going to automatically, on their own, say, oh, okay, that's why he didn't use it against Beerus. He wants to focus on Super Saiyan 2 more. Like, just give Vegeta one line of dialogue saying that, where he's like, you know what, Super Saiyan 3 has great power, but I'm going to focus on Super Saiyan 2 until it's stronger than my Super Saiyan 3 because it's more efficient. If you have one line of dialogue saying that, that took like 30 seconds. Have that for Vegeta. Then Goku at the end of the episode, he's like, oh, that Super Saiyan 4 thing, I've been trying to do it, but I haven't been able to do it since I left Demon Realm. I think I could only do it in Demon Realm. I'm not sure why. And that actually fits the narrative that we saw with Master Ultra Instinct. I think at the end of Super, Goku and Vegeta were fighting. And Vegeta's like, bro, go Ultra Instinct. I want to fight Ultra Instinct. And he's like, bro, I haven't been able to do it since the Tournament of Power. I don't know why. It would be a very perfect tie-in, and it just explains both things real well. Like, just very simple explanations. If we had gotten that, then this would go from a 4 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10 for me. Maybe a 7 even. But we didn't get that. But so since we didn't get those explanations, the way I'm rationalizing it is just viewing it as its own filler GT type thing. That's a beautiful GT. It's a very beautiful GT, very beautiful lore. Fun to watch Goku just be Goku, but it's like more a series that you just watch for fun, and that's it. Don't take it too seriously. That's kind of how I'm viewing it right now. But like I said, if they come out with more information, like for all I know, bro, to like the moment I finish this live stream, maybe Toei Animation will leave a formal statement saying, yeah, you know what? The reason why Goku didn't go Super Saiyan 4 in Battle of Gods is because of this, and they just make like a tweet explaining it. Then that improves this series for me, and I would view it as canon. But as of right now, since we don't have any of that and we might not get anything else, it's just like a very beautiful GT number 2 for me right now. Let's see, where was I in the comments? Decade said, to be fair, Toriyama is known to forget, and he is older in age, but most plot holes outside things he super saw was remembered. Yeah, that's true. And it's like I said, dude, Toriyama was a literal legend, like one of the most creative human beings to have ever lived. He, like, all of my favorite manga exists because of him. So I mean, literally no I don't want to put like any negative words towards Toriyama. It's just like this, I just really didn't like the ending of this, like how we got almost no information to really easily answer things. And it's like the animation studio could have like helped him out a little bit, just give him like, just answer that for us. And that was the other thing. Like I said, I wasn't even sure how much of this Toriyama himself wrote. Like, did he have more involvement in this than he did with Super? I don't know. I think, but I will say, like, a lot of the, like, all of the best moments in this felt like it was straight from Toriyama. So that's like something really cool. And I think like if you just view this without taking it too seriously, it is very, very enjoyable. But I'm genuinely baffled as to why we didn't get like just simple answers to very complicated plot holes, you know. But genuinely no disrespect to Toriyama. That man literally was one of the greatest legends to have ever lived, bro. Like, seriously, just a truly remarkable human. Euroball said, bro, Sabaody was so peak. The introduction of Supernova's Roger's right hand, Kizaru no diffing everyone, and Logtown is known as a town of beginnings, yeah, One Piece is just like insanely well written. Hunter x Hunter Grandmaster said, 100% agree with you, Lilo. Daima just simply has bad writing, and they didn't take it under consideration, but you got to understand that the writers probably think about the timeline. Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. And they can still fix it, you know, if they just add like one or two statements, even if they just add it as like a writer's note afterwards, like that would still fix it. Or just let us know that this is its own timeline, then that fixes it too. You know, they can just literally tweet tomorrow and just say, yeah, this is its own timeline. I'm like, oh, okay, everything's fixed. Like, there's so many ways they can still fix it. It's not ruined or anything. It's just like, if this is all we get, then it gave us a lot of questions. Yeah, I agree with Anime Monarch. It's a pretty good series with like a bad wrap up. That's all, you know. And they can fix it, bro. And like a lot of manga have been doing that lately, where they drop an ending and the ending is not that good, and then they add like a ending 0.5, where they add like 5 extra pages, and it like improves the ending vastly. They could do that with Daima so easy. So, but I really hope that that we get an extension to this. I genuinely hope we get a Daima 2 and they go more in detail with all the stuff that was happening here. And they just give us a formal explanation as to why Goku could not use Super Saiyan 4 and Super, and why Vegeta didn't use Super Saiyan 3 and Super, or they explain that this is its own timeline. If they do that, then Daima like will become a series that I like rewatching, that I'll probably rewatch a couple times. Like, it's crazy how just like that little simple thing changes it from something where it's like, I might rewatch this, to, oh, I'll rewatch it a bunch if they just add like 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Or if they just let me know, hey, this is its own timeline, then I'll rewatch this a bunch, because it's fun. Like, it's a fun series to watch. Let's see here. GK Combat. Yeah, G Combat, welcome to the stream, bro. He said, Kid Buu is stronger than Super Saiyan 4 according to DBS, and he didn't help to transform in Demon Realm, so that explanation doesn't work. It's just a plot hole. Yeah, it might be a plot hole, bro. But overall, dude, I'll say, like, I love Dragon Ball. It's, like, literally just such an iconic series. Toriyama was a genius, and I actually do like Daima. Like, it's a very fun story, very beautiful story. Feels like OG Dragon Ball, and I like that they had so many callbacks to GT. Like, when Goku goes Super Saiyan 4, he's in the classic Super Saiyan 4 pose and stuff. Like, and they had the Super Saiyan bargain sale quote. Like, it hits the nostalgia like crazy, but I'm just a little disappointed that they left so many things unknown for like really no good reason. Like, they could have just let us know, hey, this is its own timeline. Or they could have just let us know, hey, this is why Goku didn't use these forms in Super. This is why Vegeta didn't use these forms in Super. That's all. You know, because it's like, these are not big requests. They're very simple requests. And I just, at the moment, I don't know why they didn't answer it. But like my opinion on all of these things might change like over the next few days, especially if they release more information, right? Because the ending just came out. So Hunter x Hunter Grandmaster said, Lilo, would you say that Daima is only held back by bad writing? And I would say, honestly, I don't even know if Daima has bad writing, because it's like all of these things can be fixed, right? I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure if I'm being too nice or too harsh. I'm just, the place where I'm at right now is, I just don't understand why they made these decisions. Like, because they had a very beautiful story, the lore is really fun, it feels like OG Dragon Ball, the music's good, the fights are great, they have so many things going really well. But I just don't understand, why did they make the decision, yeah, let's not tell them if this is canon or not. Let's not tell them why Goku didn't use these forms in Super. Let's not tell them why Vegeta didn't use these forms in Super. Let's not even tell them if there will be a sequel. Let's not tell them if this is its own timeline. I don't know why they didn't answer these things. That's where I'm at. Like, if all of these things were answered, then this would be hype. Like, if all of these things were answered, I might give this series like a 7 out of 10. Because it would enhance the way I see everything else in Dragon Ball. Like, one of the things it was making me think was, like, base Goku in Buu Saga was a lot stronger than I thought he was. Because we were seeing how, like, the base adult form Saiyans were beating up Goma, and they were like stronger than the kid Super Saiyan 4 Saiyans. And it made me start thinking, how strong was Buu Saga base form Goku? Like, was Buu Saga base form Goku like a second form Cell level guy, or like a perfect Cell level guy, and I just didn't realize it? Because when I watched the Buu Saga, I thought base form Goku was like a little bit stronger than Frieza, but maybe he was way stronger than that based off of the things we were seeing in Daima. So it was like stuff like that. It was changing the way I was seeing stuff like that. And I really wanted them to give some explanation to Vegeta Super Saiyan 3. Like if they had said like Vegeta, like for example, if you remember in Cell Saga, Goku focused on mastering the Super Saiyan form to the point where like he could transform into Super Saiyan and maintain Super Saiyan effortlessly. And it was like the mastered Super Saiyan, and it was way stronger than normal Super Saiyan. I was hoping that they were going to say something in Daima like Vegeta wanted to master Super Saiyan 2. So what we were seeing in Battle of Gods was the true mastered Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. And like the dialogue where Roshi's like, oh yeah, Vegeta surpassed Goku with this one. Like that would have had more weight. That was like kind of stuff I was hoping for, but we didn't get any of that. So, I don't know. I mean, I wanted to just express my like raw thoughts on this. I honestly think like as time goes on, I might end up disagreeing with everything I say here today, but I wanted to just capture my raw thoughts at the moment. And I really hope I'm not being disrespectful to Toriyama in any way. I'm really trying not to be, because that dude's a legend, and like pretty much every bit of media that I enjoy would like be 10 times worse if Akira Toriyama didn't live his life and make the story that he made. So I really hope I'm not being disrespectful to him. But let me see these comments here. So Ahmed said Daima's issues could have easily been fixed. Like, have Vegeta realize how easily he timed out against Goma and criticize Super Saiyan 3. That would have been sick. Have Neva power up adult Goku in Super Saiyan 4. Then he would time out of it at the end. That would have been sick too. Like we're saying, these are easy solutions. So that's why I was confused why they didn't do them. Anime Monarch says, I feel like Daima not being canon would defeat the purpose of Super Saiyan 4 being reintroduced. So I don't see them saying it's separate from Super. True, because I mean, and bro, that was like another thing that was hype about Daima in general. We're like, yo, they made Super Saiyan 4 canon. That's why it was so hype. But if Daima's just another filler, then it's like, oh, we just have 2 filler Super Saiyan 4s. So that kind of does defeat the purpose of that. Truth. Ahmed said the base Saiyans being above Piccolo is the reason I wasn't surprised by their adult forms being so strong. That's a good point too, because I think in the end of Cell Saga, Piccolo was like right on par with second form Cell, I think. Maybe a little weaker than that, because he trained for a year in the time chamber after already being Android 17 level. So he trained for a year on top of that. So like, and he did pretty well against the Cell Junior. So I think like Piccolo was around second form Cell level, and then he trained for 7 years straight after that. And that's Buu Saga Piccolo, and like base Goku was above that. So it was like base Goku was around like perfect Cell level back in Buu Saga. He was around there. Hunter x Hunter Grandmaster, thank you for the donation, bro. I appreciate that, man. He said, thank you for the nights of sleep that I have lost. Would love to see a JoJo vid soon. Good luck on midterms, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. And he said, you're a peak commentator, bro. Thank you. I'm trying to get better at it. I still have a lot of ways I can improve. Like, I think with this one, like I said, I usually don't do live streams this way, where I just do like raw thoughts without planning them out very much. Usually I have like a script that I'm going off of, but this one I just had like a few bullet point ideas. So I hope I wasn't like too harsh on Daima. I hope I wasn't. But like that was like a risk I took when I went into it unplanned. But there's just areas I have to get better at. A guy said, Daima shows me a bigger problem. I think Dragon Ball has nowhere to go story-wise. I don't think anything feels at stake after the Buu saga. It's rinse and repeat with power-ups and strong opposition. That's a good point. I mean, with Dragon Ball, at this point, dude, like, my honest thoughts on it is it does not have to be good. I just want to see it continue. Dragon Ball is like one of the only series where I feel that way. Like, I genuinely don't even care if it's good. I just like seeing Goku do stuff, and fighting another opponent, even though it's the exact same plot over and over again. I'm actually okay with that. I just like seeing like the Sun family grow up and go on adventures, and but I just don't like when there's blatant plot holes that they could easily explain and they don't explain them. I don't like that. Like, at least try to explain it a little. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much all the yapping I wanted to do about this. I have a Discord now, and in the Discord, we're in there like discussing things, like debating stuff. Like, pretty much every time I do a poll on my community tab, we'll talk about that poll in the Discord as well. So yeah, if you're ever trying to chat in the Discord, feel free to head over to that one. I think I'll leave a link to the Discord in the description to this live stream, because I want to start like introducing that more, because it's been pretty fun in there. This will be the last comment I read for tonight. XYAEX said, something to improve: when you speak, you always have to take a deep breath. I have this same problem when I listen back to my recordings during editing. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Like, breath control is like a real thing, especially during live streams. Like, being able to say full sentences without having to breathe in between makes it a lot easier to listen to. So that's some stuff I got to work on more. Hunter Grandmaster said, yo, let me join the Discord. That's going to be peak. Yeah, bro, I have the link to it posted on my community posts. Like, I think I posted it about a week and a half ago, but I'll post the link to the Discord in the description of this live stream too. But all right, guys, that's everything for this live stream. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you for all the comments. Once again, I hope I wasn't too harsh on the series. Overall, I did like Daima. It is a very fun series, very beautiful series, and I'm happy that we got more Dragon Ball. I will probably rewatch it all when the dub is finished, just to like hear the OG Kid Goku voice actress. I probably will rewatch the whole thing in dub. But yeah, as of right now, I'm just really hoping that they give us some more information and answer the plot holes. That's all. Whether they do it in like a tweet or they do it as like an interview, anything, I just want more information. That's pretty much all. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys on the next one.